everyone. Thank you for joining me today at the Life Coach University and their Pay It Forward program, where all we ask is that if you feel so inspired, please pay this kindness forward out in the world with your own act of kindness. And then please share that with us at hello by emailing us at hello@lifecoachuniversity.com. I am Chris. I am your host for this talk today, and I am the founder of Rebel with a Purpose. I am a spiritually centered life coach, and my talks are generally focused on healing, growing, and thriving. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the power of awareness and how it relates to all three of those. So originally I was planning on talking to you only about awareness and how incredibly and wonderfully powerful it is. And I still am going to talk about that. However, I feel compelled to also talk a little bit about self-compassion and self-acceptance and self-forgiveness today, because the past week or so, I haven't been feeling all that hot. I've been feeling a little bit down on myself and not overly self-aware, I would say. I guess I haven't even really been feeling overly qualified to talk to you about self-awareness. Of course, I just haven't been feeling it because I've been feeling kind of down. I haven't been feeling all that self-aware. So that's why I feel like I need to talk to you a little bit about self-compassion, because even though I'm a life coach and I teach this stuff and I coach this stuff, I'm still human, and I'm by no means a spiritual master or a life master for that matter. And I'm perfectly imperfect, just like all human beings are. So what I want to do is talk to you about something that actually just happened far too recently. It was yesterday, actually. This is kind of embarrassing, and I have to apologize to my girlfriend in advance for sharing this, but I think it fits perfectly, and it's funny and ironic, and so I'm just going to share it with you. So recently, my girlfriend and I had been, where we decided to read this relationship book together, and then get together weekly and talk about what we read and how we can learn from it and apply it to our relationship and help improve the quality of our relationship. And just yesterday, we were talking about a chapter that we had just read. And ironically enough, the chapter was largely about awareness and how awareness can really help in relationships, especially when it comes to solving problems that you've had together and recurring patterns of power struggles and fighting and things that tend to come up repeatedly. And my girlfriend and I are no strangers to this. We're not exempt. We've had these issues in our relationship. And as we were talking about this book and this chapter on awareness, it actually led to us getting into a fight. And, you know, I didn't bring enough self-awareness to the situation to de-escalate it, to resolve it quickly. I got caught up, even though right as it was happening, I was aware of patterns that they even mentioned in the book and things that we've kind of been cycling through for the past 11 years. And I still didn't have enough awareness to de-escalate and resolve it quickly. I mean, we're good now. We did ultimately figure it out, but that just shows that, hey, we're like, even though I'm learning this stuff, I'm teaching this stuff, I'm still human, and there's always room for self-compassion and forgiveness. And so that's something I want to emphasize and share as well. So while the self-awareness is incredibly powerful, it's not always easy, even for somebody like me who spends a great deal of time focused on this, learning about it, practicing it. So just know that as you are learning and growing and developing these life skills to help improve your life, know that it's not going to always be a smooth ride. And the best thing you could do for yourself is Take care of yourself, love yourself, be compassionate, be patient with yourself. Know that it's not going to be linear progress. So bring enough awareness to these situations to know that it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you because you maybe regressed for a little while, or aren't doing things perfectly, or it's slow going. So really, that self-compassion is really important. So anyway, I will get back to my original topic here of awareness. And what I mean by awareness is like consciousness or attention and intention. So like paying attention to what's going on with you, presence, mindfulness. So like knowing what's going on internally, and why you're thinking, feeling, saying, and doing what you're doing and thinking, feeling, and saying. When we know what's going on with us, when we're aware, we can start to make intentional decisions about who we are, who we want to be, what we want to do, what we want to have, how we want to show up in the world and interact with other humans. What legacy do we want to leave? It's about making decisions for who you are in advance of situations that you may find yourself in, and also creating enough pause to bring awareness to those situations while you're in them, and making those choices, those intentional choices, instead of the old unintentional choices in those moments. And like I said, it's not always easy. But awareness is the starting point, really, for your healing, growing, and thriving journey. If you don't know what's wrong with your car, you can't fix your car, right? It's the same with your mind and your body. And that awareness is that analysis. It's that knowing what's going on, right? So how do we bring awareness into our own lives, into our world? One good way is to ask really good, high quality questions, right? Like, how am I feeling? Who am I? What do I want? Who do I want to be? How can I improve in this area? How can I respond better the next time I'm faced with this situation where I've reacted emotionally and my fight or flight response was triggered? So asking these questions of how can I do better? Who am I? These are high quality questions. And so what you want to do is stop asking the lower quality questions of like, why does this always happen to me? Why do they always pick on me? Why do I always get hurt? Why am I no good? Like these questions just perpetuate the unconscious living and unintentional choices that we're making about ourselves and who we are and our lives. These come from old programming, and they're not bringing more awareness. They're just keeping us stuck in old patterns. Another thing that you can do to help bring more awareness into your life is read books. There's a lot of books on self-development, on spirituality, and these are really good sources for helping you become more aware of what's going on with you internally. You can get help from professionals, life coaches, therapists, spiritual leaders, or just anyone you're close to whose wisdom you trust. These are people that can help you with your own self-awareness. You can start making decisions in advance, like I mentioned before, in advance of situations that you find yourself in. So decide who you want to be and how you want to interact with others, even when those others are not behaving how you would like them, and especially when others are not behaving the way you would like them to. Like in relationships, if your partner isn't behaving a way that you think they should be, according to your rules, then maybe you react to that. So it's about bringing awareness to your reaction, to your responsibility in that, like what's going on internally that's causing that reaction to your partner, right? So other things we can do are meditate daily and practice daily affirmations and visualization to bring awareness, and also to improve how often we're aware. And then for me, spending time in communion with God. So while meditating, feeling connected to God and feeling that unconditional love and remembering who I truly am, where I come from, and remembering that we're all connected. We're all part of God. We're all energy. We're all love. And that remembrance of connectedness and who we really are, that's something that really helps me. And then again, self-compassion. So like I said, awareness is really the starting point for turning things around in your life. It's the starting point for success in pretty much every area of life that I can think of: relationships, finance, career, spirituality, lifestyle, legacy, personal growth. Bringing awareness really helps you to question the rules that you've been following, and the beliefs that you've been holding about who you are, and what's possible for you, what life can be like, what you want life to be like. A lot of times we are stuck, a lot of us anyway, are stuck. We're kind of caught up in the rules that are given to us. They're the rules of our parents, of our teachers, of our siblings, of our old friends, of our religious leaders. And we're taught these things when we're young, so we don't really know better than, we don't know good enough to question these. So we just blindly accept and follow these rules. And so awareness is about starting to question these rules. Hey, whose rules are these that I'm following, that I'm living by? How are they serving me? Are these my rules? Do I actually want to continue on with these rules? I won't get into specifics, but these are things that I've been questioning for myself, and I've changed a lot of my own rules about life, about lifestyle choices. I used to think kind of lowly of myself, and that I wasn't capable of a great deal. And when I started changing those beliefs and those rules about how I can live my life, I moved to the beach. I started traveling around the world. I got higher level careers, and then ultimately started my own business. It's really done a lot to bring awareness to the rules I've been following and the beliefs that I've been holding about myself, and starting to change those, and basically creating my own rules and creating new beliefs about who I am and what I want and what's possible for me, how I want to show up in the world, in my career, with all other humans and nature. And you can do this too, and it starts with awareness. So because of this very recent experience yesterday, I'm going to focus a little bit on how awareness can strengthen our romantic relationships, because this is obviously very relevant for me, something I need to hear myself right now. And it's top of mind, so I'm going to focus on this. So in our relationships, we can start asking ourselves questions about, what do we want to bring to the relationship? What do we want to gain from it? What's the intention I have for my relationship? What do I want this relationship to be about? What do I want it to look like? What do you want it to look like day in and day out? Like the daily stuff, your interactions with your significant other, your partner. How do you want that to go? What are your goals together? How do you want to treat your partner? Who do you want to be as a partner? How can you take 100% responsibility for your experience in the relationship? Now, this question is huge for all of life, because I firmly believe that each one of us is 100% responsible for the experiences that we have in life. Now, that doesn't mean that things don't happen to us that we didn't cause or create, but how we respond to that is 100% our responsibility. So the results that we get ultimately are based on our own thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. So awareness is that starting point to taking 100% responsibility. And that this is mentioned in the book that we're reading. And by the way, that book is called Conscious Loving. It's written by the Hendricks, Gay, and I believe Kathleen. And it's a really good book. And they talk about how in a relationship, each partner is actually 100% responsible for how that relationship goes. It's not 50-50, it's actually 100-100. There's 200% total responsibility, and each partner is responsible for 100% of their own experience in that relationship. And that's true for all areas of life, as far as I'm concerned. So if you're in a bad mood, or if you're feeling your fight or flight response kick in, ask yourself, like, how can I keep myself from taking this out on my partner? How can I stop myself from these feelings, these moments, these interactions turning into fights? Like, how can I stay present, stay aware of what's going on with me and what's creating this experience, this moment, and how do I want it to go from here? What can I do to show up the way I want to show up, treat my partner the way I want to treat her or him, and have the experience that I truly desire to have? I have more questions, like how can you keep the romantic spark alive? What things can I do on a regular basis to do that? How can you communicate better? Communication is one of those critical things in life. And it's usually the number one cause for problems in relationships, at work, in all interactions in life. It's communication is obviously very challenging, but it's also so incredibly important. And so that's a great question to ask yourself. How can I be a better communicator? How can I communicate more effectively with my spouse or partner or at work? And then another good one is, how can we grow together? What can we do together to make this experience everything we want it to be, and to continue to grow and improve the relationship, and then improve the world around us, right? So asking yourself questions like these can help you be far more aware of who you want to be and how you want to experience your relationship. And relationship can be replaced with career, finances, lifestyle, and all other areas of life. Awareness is the starting point for recognizing how you might be creating an experience other than the one you desire, right? So this comes back to taking 100% responsibility and being aware of that, and thinking, okay, hey, this is what I want in my life, right? But this is what I'm currently experiencing. It's not what I want. There's a gap. So what am I doing to cause that gap? And then don't beat yourself up over it, because that's not going to help. This is where self-compassion kicks in, and understanding and patience, and then asking yourself, so what do I need to do to close that gap, right? How can I build a bridge to get from where I am to where I want to be? And this all starts with awareness, right? So you can shift with awareness. You can shift from unintentional, subconscious, conditioned thoughts and behaviors to intentional, conscious recondition. Basically, you can reprogram your thoughts. A lot of your thoughts, just like the rules and behaviors, that, like your beliefs, these are things that might not be your own, or maybe you've adopted them and they're your own now, but question them. Are these thoughts serving you? Are they helping? Are they even true? It's all about asking these questions and being more aware, and going from an unconscious way of living to being more conscious and intentional, aware of what you're thinking, how that thinking is making you feel, how your feelings are making you behave, and how your behavior is producing the results that you are seeing in your life. So with awareness, you can decide what you want the rest of your life to be like, and you can start moving toward making that life your new reality. This is very possible for you. It's all about the beliefs that you hold on to, and that starts with awareness. It definitely takes more than awareness, but awareness is the starting point, and it is crucial for it to remain in place for you to continue to live consciously and to continue creating the life that you want to have versus the life that you've been living and feels like it's just been happening to you. You've actually been creating that. It's just that you haven't been doing it consciously because you haven't been aware enough of how you're creating it and aware enough that you have the power to change what you're creating for yourself. You have the power to change your life experience. So like I said, it takes more. You do have to take responsibility. There's a lot more, and I'm going to talk all about this stuff in future talks. It takes practice, and it takes massive action to turn things around for yourself and live the life that you want to live. But again, awareness has to be central there. It has to be at the beginning and all throughout the rest of your days in order to have the life that you want to have. And I'm not perfectly there yet. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still healing. I'm someone who's experienced a great amount of personal suffering. I've dealt with depression and anxiety most of my life since I was a teenager. And I'm still managing those two. I've done a really good job of forgiving myself and releasing the suffering of guilt and shame and not forgiving myself and some other things. However, the depression and anxiety, they're still present. And sometimes, I might even go a week or so of kind of filling in that space. But with these tools that I've been developing and now teaching and coaching with, I'm managing it, right? And sometimes that's all you can ask of yourself. And so yes, I'm still healing, growing, working on thriving. I'm thriving in many ways, but I still have these goals of, for myself, for my life. And, I think that's going to always be the case, right? I'm never going to get to a point where I'm done healing, done growing, done, striving for more, achieving more, because that's growth, that's life. I don't want to get to the point where I'm not growing anymore, where I don't have any more goals, where I'm not being more of who I want to be and sharing more of that with the world. So yes, it takes more than awareness, but it takes awareness for sure. And I just want to close here with awareness is also a very important part of that self-compassion and self-forgiveness for those moments when you may have temporarily lost some of your self-awareness and maybe got into a fight with your girlfriend that started with a conversation about awareness. Thank you so much. And I have just a comment here that I'm going to read. I love your honesty. It's so connecting. Thank you so much for being so human and real and bringing your rawness here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I seriously considered not sharing such a raw, recent, fresh experience, but I just thought, you know what, that's my truth right now. That's my reality. And I think it's very helpful to share humanness, right? Sometimes I forget that, and I'm up here talking and kind of preaching almost, and I have to remember that I'm human and I'm imperfect, and I'm perfect in all of my imperfections, just like everyone else is. And so, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that comment. That means a lot to me. And I don't see any more questions. If you have any questions, or if you want to come on and talk with me, please raise your hand or drop your question in the questions section. So, all right. Thank you so much for your time. And I hope you all have wonderful holidays. I hope you take some time to rest and recharge and get ready for the new year. Again, my name is Chris Weals. I am the founder of Rebel with a Purpose. You can reach me at chris@rebelwithapurpose.com. Right now, my website's down. I'm redoing it. So can't reach me there, but you can definitely email me and I'll get back to you if you ever want to talk with me, schedule a discovery session or consultation. And those are free, and it can be very helpful just to have that one conversation. And again, this is through the Life Coach University Pay It Forward program, where all we ask is that you pay a kindness forward. And then if you feel so inclined, please share that experience with us at Life Coach University by emailing us at hello@lifecoachuniversity.com. Again, thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care.